Hey, what's going on YouTube? Mike here for Phandroid, and today we have the Honor 70, which is one of the newest phones from Honor for this year. Now it does bring some nice hardware and software features, and today we're going to take a look in this video and see what it has to offer against the competition. Let's get started. Alright, so starting off with the external styling of the phone, we do have a sleek outer design, which is made out of glass and plastic. Now the phone looks really premium, especially with the curved display, and of course the matte gradient design on the back, which looks really nice when the light hits it at just the right spot. Now the edges of the phone are made of plastic, and while they do have a somewhat metallic finish, this is just plain polycarbonate through and through. Now there are some considerations to be made about the design of the phone. One is that the curved display might not be for everyone. Personally, I do prefer a flat display, and the camera bumps on the rear panel of the phone are pretty large. Personally, I do find them rather big, and this is coming from a guy who handles the Pixel 7's large camera window on a daily basis. A couple of more things to take note of is that there is no IP68 rating on this phone, and there's no Gorilla Glass panel on the front, which is kind of a bummer, so you're gonna have to be extra careful with this phone, but in the end, it is gonna be a subjective matter. Now the display is a 6.67-inch AMOLED screen with a 120Hz refresh rate, and I gotta say I do like the colors and the brightness of the display on here. It's got a 1080 by 2400 pixel resolution, and it is a very responsive display. Like, I haven't really had any lags or issues with the display quality and the colors. So if you're after a phone with a curved display, then this is gonna be right up your alley. Now in terms of biometrics, you do get two options for biometrics on the Honor 70. You get an in-display optical fingerprint scanner, which is really nice to use. It's very responsive, and it's considerably fast, especially compared to other phones like the Pixel 6, the Pixel 7. Now it does come with Face Unlock 2, which is a nice secondary option. In case you're having problems with the in-display scanner, then it's nice to have a backup in terms of biometrics. Now inside the phone, we do get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 778 Plus chipset. It does come with 256 gigs of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM. And in terms of raw performance, the chipset is going to be great for most games. I mean, I was able to run Grid Auto Sport on this phone, and it handles the game quite nicely. I didn't have any lag, I didn't have any app freezes when I was playing. And if you're going to be using this phone for a lot of gaming, then it is going to be able to handle a ton of games from the Google Play Store. One observation I did make is that it doesn't really get hot while gaming, so it's very ideal in that sense. And yeah, even for day-to-day tasks, it's going to be a solid performer. And overall, if you're a moderate or casual user, that's going to be a very zippy experience for you. Now it does come with Android 12 coupled with a layer of Magic UI, which is Honor's custom Android skin. Now if you have used a Huawei phone before with EMUI, then Magic UI is going to be really similar. It's going to have a lot of the same features. Although I do get that Honor wants to create a name for itself and kind of separate itself from Huawei, but overall you're going to see a lot of similarities between Magic UI and EMUI. Now the thing here is, if you're after a phone with a stock Android experience, then this might not be the phone to go with, because there are a lot of extra apps that come pre-installed with the smartphone, although thankfully a lot of them can be uninstalled from the get-go. But on the other hand, you do get some customizability with Magic UI, so you're going to be able to change your icons, your theme packs and wallpapers and such. And if you're someone who's into customizing their phone, or maybe you've used a lot of Honor and Huawei phones before, then this is going to be really familiar in terms of overall usage. Now in terms of camera performance, I did find the cameras on the Honor 70 to be generally impressive, and I was pleasantly surprised with the performance that I was able to get out of the camera on this phone. I mean, shots on the main sensor look pretty good, even portrait shots on the selfie camera look really good in general. Now the same can be said for night mode, which overall has good quality. You'll get a decent amount of detail and exposure in nighttime shots, but again, camera performance is going to be a very subjective matter, and overall you're going to get decent photos from the camera on the Honor 70. Now it does shoot video, and it maxes out at 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, which is a certain limitation that this camera has. And in terms of video, it's overall decent, although one thing to note is that sometimes colors tend to seem washed out, especially if you are shooting in less than ideal lighting scenarios. Maybe you're shooting on an overcast day, or maybe it's around 4 p.m. or late afternoon where there's considerably less light around, and those are times where the video is going to show its weakness. But video stabilization is good, and as I said earlier, for casual mobile photography, this is going to be a perfectly fine phone. Now, as for battery, you do get a 4800 mAh unit inside the Honor 70. It's going to be able to last you a day thanks to the large capacity, although factors like usage, gaming, and of course the constant use of a high brightness and the 120Hz refresh rate is bound to affect the battery longevity on your phone. Thankfully though, it does come with 66 watt fast charging, and according to Honor, it can charge up to 60% in around 20 minutes. Now it is priced at around 549 euros for the base model, which is around the same price as the Pixel 7 and some other Samsung mid-rangers. Now, there is some concern at this price point, especially the build quality that lacks IP68 protection as well as Gorilla Glass coating. But if you're really after one of the best mid-rangers that Honor has to offer, then the Honor 70 is a solid choice. Alright, so let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you want to see more content, check out our other reviews here on Phandroid. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.